Hello, welcome back to Animated Literacy. This is lesson number 24 from the Story Song and Action book. In our last two lessons, we learned about Sadie Seal and how she likes to surf. And so you can show me surfing in either of three ways. You can show me body surfing the way a real seal surfs. So put your hands out like this, slide down the wave and go sss. Or you can show me surfing on a surfboard. So you can go sss. Or you can show me swimming in front of the wave like this and go sss. So either one you like. So show me the one you like. And let's put that into some of our words. Are you surfing? Are you surfing? Sadie Seal, Sadie Seal. Sadie's bells are saying, Sadie's bells are saying, sing song, sing, sing song, sing. Sadie's owls are saying, Sadie's owls are saying, suit, 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 suit. Sadie's pups are saying, Sadie's pups are saying, sark, 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 sark. Sadie's lambs are saying, Sadie's lambs are saying, saw, 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 saw. Then we put Sadie Seal's sound into some words that we learned how to draw and label. So we drew a picture of a saw. Can you show me the sounds you hear in saw? Saw. Again. Saw. Can you tell me the letters that we use to spell saw? S-A-W. So in this word, Ollie Ostrich's sound is not spelled with an O the way we've been spelling it. Another way to spell it is with an A-W. And then we drew a picture of a stop sign, and here we wrote the word stop. Can you show me the sounds in stop? Stop. Again. Stop. And what were the letters to spell stop? S-T-O-P. And then we added some spots to our puppy dog, and we named our dog Spot. Can you show me the sounds in Spot? Spot. Again. Spot. So now we're almost have filled this whole chart, and we'll have to be adding another chart. And remember, these are key words that you want to go back and read and write over and over and over again and draw those pictures over and over so that when you close your eyes, you can see the word and you can see the picture that you've learned how to draw. Okay, so now let's take our cards and as I change the card next to each of the objects, I want you to change the sound that object makes. So here we have our owl, which goes hoot, hoot, but Sadie's does what? Suit, 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 suit. What does Timmy's do? Toot, 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 toot. What does Polly's owl do? Poot, 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 poot. What does Mimi Mermaid's owl do? Moot, 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 moot. Daisy Dragon's doot, 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 doot. What if we did that with our rat? Instead of our rat going squeak, squeak, now our rat's going to do what? Deek, 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 deek. Seek, 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 seek. Teek, 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 teek. Peek, 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 peek. Meek, 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 meek. Deek, deek. What would our puppy dog do instead of bark, bark? Dark, 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 dark. Sark, 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 sark. Remember to do the motion while you're doing these so that your muscles can help you to remember. Teek, 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 teek. Peek, 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 peek. And now we'll get faster and faster when we do these. So we want to get to where we can go peek, peek, meek, meek, deek, deek, seek, seek, teek, teek. Now at first we're doing these where you can see the nice big picture of our character to help you to remember their sound. But when you're reading in a book, you won't see pictures of the characters to help you remember the sound. You'll see only the letter symbol for the characters. So gradually we're going to start to fade the pictures away. So here we are with some flashcards. And now what's happening to the character? The character's picture is getting smaller and lighter in color, but what's happening to the letter? It's getting bigger and bolder. So we need to recognize which letters go with which characters, and we need to know the capital letters. We also need to know the small letters. So let's try that same thing and see if you can do it with just our small picture of the character. Ready? Dark, 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 mark, 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 park, 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 sark, sark. And then eventually, not quite yet, but eventually we're going to take away the picture altogether and see if you can do the same activity, but without having the help of the character's picture. So here we are with Sadie Seal. And what does Sadie Seal say? Irk, irk. And so Sadie, if we put her sound in front, goes cirk, 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 cirk. And if we put Mimi Mermaid, what's it do? Merk, 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 merk. Polly Panda, perk, 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 turk, 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 turk. So that's how we're going to be doing more playing with our consonant sounds. And then we'll do similar kinds of things with our vowel sounds. So with our vowels, we've been using food. So we started out with the old lady who swallowed a fly, only we began with her swallowing an egg. How many syllables in egg? One. Egg. And where is the vowel? At the beginning. So if we change that one to our character sounds, Ollie Ostrich, what does he eat? Og. Again. Og. What does Uncle Upton eat? Ugh. Ugh. Egg. Egg. Ig. Ig. Now if we switch that to the middle of the word, here's a lime, and it has Ike sound because it's a lime. But if we change the vowel to owl sound, ow, it's now going to be a what? Laum. Laum. And if we change it to Eve leaping, what's it going to be? Leam. Leam. And if we change it to Ollie Ostrich, it's a lom. Now if we did a two-syllable word, onion, so now we have two, Ollie's is going to be what? On, yawn. Say that. On, yawn. Uncle Upton's will be un-yun, actress Annie, and yan, ein, yine. And eventually, just like we did with the consonants, we'll fade the picture away and be doing it with just our letters. Now, if we put this lime and onion into apples and bananas, what would it sound like? Ike likes to eat, limes and onions. Ike likes to eat, limes and onions. What would it be if it was owl? Owl likes to out, lambs and onions. Owl likes to out, lambs and onions. So we need to get really good at both our consonants and our vowel sounds so that we can learn to read and write all of the words that we find in books. So today we're going to be learning a new character. Each time we learn a new character, what do we start with? Talking about what we know. Why? Because if you're going to remember it, you have to be able to think about what you already know and glue the new stuff I'm teaching you to the old stuff that's inside your head. So we're going to begin by talking about some topics that are in our character story. First topic we're going to talk about is cowboys. And here's a little boy dressed up as a cowboy. And what do cowboys like to do? Cowboys often ride horses. And this is a book called The Zebra Riding Cowboys. Now sometimes those horses are very gentle and the cowboys can ride them quite easily. But other times those horses don't want to be ridden, and they try to knock the cowboy off the horse. And so here's a horse that's trying to buck up and on its hind legs and see if he can force that cowboy to fall off. But this cowboy's a really good rider. And so now, no matter what that horse does, he's not able to buck the cowboy off. Here's another book about cowboys. And this is a Skybrary book. So if you have that app, you can read it there, or you can get the book and read it also. And another topic that we're going to be talking about that you can discuss with your mom or your teacher or your dad or whoever's doing the lesson with you are raccoons. And here's a raccoon. And raccoons live in trees most of the time. We found a raccoon a couple times at our house, though. Once it climbed into a cabinet that I have outside, and another time it climbed up into the attic that's up in the room behind me. But raccoons mostly live in trees. And here's a Skybrary book about a raccoon who has a tree that's called, and the raccoon is called Old Searcher because he's always searching. And he climbs up in the tree, and the tree keeps him safe. And during this story, there's a huge storm, but Raccoon is safe up in his tree. And here is another topic we're going to be learning about is our rhinos. And here's a rhinoceros. And rhinoceroses are big, strong animals, and they've got horns here, so you don't want to be ran into by a rhinoceros. And they don't see very well, but they run really fast. So you have to be careful if you're ever around a rhino. And in this story from Skybrary about rhinoceroses, this rhinoceros hates it when there's a storm. So when there's wind and rain and lightning and thunder, he's not very happy. So what this rhinoceros does to try to be protected is he tries to swallow the storm and hold it inside him until the weather begins to clear up. Here's another book about a raccoon. And in our story, our raccoon likes to ride. And so this raccoon is also riding, but instead of riding a horse the way a cowboy would ride a horse, this raccoon is riding on a raft. So it's out on the river, and it's got its oars, and it's rowing and riding on the raft. Well, in our story, we're going to be learning about Rosie Raccoon. And Rosie Raccoon, when she was little, loved pretending to be a cowboy. And she would dress up in her cowboy hat and her cowboy boots, and she would pretend that she could ride in a rodeo. But in the rodeo that Rosie Raccoon dreamed about, there were no horses. Instead of horses, there were rhinoceros. And so this is Rhino Ralph. And Rhino Ralph is the roughest, toughest, rowdiest rhino in the whole rodeo circuit. So when Rosie Raccoon heard about Rhino Ralph, she sure wanted to ride him. So she ran as fast as she could go to Rollie's ranch where Rhino Ralph lived to see if she could ride Rhino Ralph. Well, when Rosie Raccoon got to Rollie's ranch, it was raining. And the rain always put Ralph in an especially rotten mood. So Rosie got out her rope and she put it around like this, and she roped it around Rhino Ralph, and she got up on his back. But you can see here, Rhino Ralph did not want to be roped, and he certainly didn't want to be ridden. So at first, round and round and round in circles went Rhino Ralph as fast as he could go, and bucking up and down and doing everything he could do to get Rosie Raccoon to fall off of his back. But Rosie just stayed right on his back the entire time, until finally Rhino Ralph began to get very, very tired. Well, as he got tired, he stopped to rest. And so Rosie Raccoon, as soon as Rhino Ralph stopped to rest, she got out her book of rhymes, and she began to read restful rhymes to Rhino Ralph. And one of the rhymes that she read to him was from this book, which is called The Completed Hickory Dickory Dock. So in this book, it begins with the old Mother Goose rhyme about Hickory Dickory Dock, and it goes like this. Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock. And here's the mouse, and he's running up the clock. The clock struck 1, so at 1 o'clock, the big hand is on the 12, the little hand's on the 1, and it's going bong. The clock struck 1, the mouse run down, hickory-dickory-dock. Now in this book, they're completing it, so they don't stay just with a clock. They make up other rhymes to go along with hickory-dickory-dock. And this one reads like this. Nimble on bimble on bees, the mouse bit off some cheese. The clock struck 2, away he flew, nibble on bibble on bees. And if you get this book, you can find all kinds of additional rhymes that go to the tune of hickory-dickory-dock. So we're going to learn a song to go with Rhino Ralph. Whenever you see Rosie Raccoon, or you see our picture of Rhino Ralph, or you see their letter R, or another way to spell it is with WR. So there's 2 ways to spell, either R or WR. I want you to think about how Rosie Raccoon was riding Rhino Ralph and rocking back and forth as he reared up and down and go, roar. Or you can show me how Rosie Raccoon roped Rhino Ralph by twirling a rope over your head like this and going roar. Or you can show me roping and riding at the same time and go roar. Now if we put Rosie's sound into Are You Sleeping, what's it going to sound like? Are you riding? Or if we wanted, we could do roping instead. Are you roping? Or if you want to do both of them, we can do Are you roping and riding? Are you roping and riding? Rosie Raccoon, Rosie Raccoon. Rosie's bells are saying, Rosie's bells are saying, ring, rong, ring, ring, rong, ring. Rosie's lambs are saying, rah, rah, rah. Rosie's owl saying, root, root, root. Rosie's seal is saying, work, work, work. So we can put that into all of our sounds. Now Rosie, just like our other characters, has a song with motion. So warm your muscles up, and I'll teach you Rosie Raccoon's song. So first, Rosie has 4 legs. So show me the 4 legs like this and her running. Rosie ran to the rodeo. Rosie ran to the rodeo to ride on Rhino Ralph. To ride on Rhino Ralph. Let's go back again. I left out one little tiny piece, so let's do that once more. Rosie ran to the rodeo. Rosie ran to the rodeo. Now the rodeo she ran to was a raccoon rodeo. And raccoons are known for having this mask. So we're going to make a mask like this. To the raccoon rodeo. To the raccoon rodeo. Rosie ran to the rodeo. Rosie ran to the rodeo to ride on Rhino Ralph. To ride on Rhino Ralph. Rosie roped Ralph here. Rosie roped Ralph here. Rosie rode Ralph there. Rosie rode Ralph there. Here roping, there riding, here roping, there riding, everywhere a roping riding, everywhere a roping riding. Now we're going to make our letter R. So see how you can make a letter R. Let's see, you can probably see this one a little bit better. So here's a capital R, here's a lowercase r. See how you can use your hands and your arms to make that letter R. Now I often put like a stick up like this, and then use this R sort of like that to make a small R. But you can make your R any way you want. R is for Rosie Raccoon. R is for Rosie Raccoon. Riding Rhino Ralph. Riding Rhino Ralph. Let's do that again. And this time, see if you can do the gestures with me, okay? Rosie ran to the rodeo. Rosie ran to the rodeo. To the raccoon rodeo. To the raccoon rodeo. Rosie ran to the rodeo. Rosie ran to the rodeo to ride on Rhino Ralph, to ride on Rhino Ralph. Rosie roped Ralph here, Rosie roped Ralph here. Rosie rode Ralph there, Rosie rode Ralph there. Here roping, there riding, here roping, there riding. Everywhere a roping riding, everywhere a roping riding. R is for Rosie Raccoon, R is for Rosie Raccoon. Riding Rhino Ralph, riding Rhino Ralph. Okay, this time we're going to do it along with our recording. So let's see if you can do the gestures while I point to the words. And this time I'll let the tape recording sing the song, and you can sing along with the tape while you're gesturing it. Ready?
Rosie ran to the rodeo, to the Raccoon Rodeo. Rosie ran to the rodeo to ride on Rhino Ralph. Rosie roped Ralph here,
Rosie rode Ralph there.
here roping, there riding, everywhere a roping riding. R is for Rosie Raccoon, riding Rhino Ralph.
Okay, so now today when you get your paper, I want you to think about things that are in your life like Rosie Raccoons. So the first thing, you can rainbow write over the letter R and the letters WR. Then turn your page over on the back. And here are the topics that you can write about. You can tell me about a rhinoceros and name all the things. You can draw a picture of a rhino and write a sentence about it, or you can wait and have me or your teacher or your parent write the sentence and then rainbow write over it. You could tell me about a raccoon, or you could tell me about something you like to ride. Maybe you like to ride a bicycle, maybe you have a tricycle, maybe you like to ride in a wagon, maybe you ride on horseback. So you can tell me about something that you like to ride. Also, what did Rhino Ralph think about storms? What do you think about when it's rainy and the wind's blowing and lightning's coming and you hear the thunder? So you could tell me about storms and what you think about storms. And either wait for your teacher to come and write your sentence for you, or you can write it your way and then the teacher can show you what that sentence would look like in a book. So I hope you enjoyed the story of Rosie Raccoon, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time when we're going to draw some things that have Rosie Raccoon's sound and letter in them.